Hi, and welcome to Conan Exiles Age of Calamitous. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make KRONYXIUM cores. In our previous video, I showed you how to craft onyx cores, which is the main material in crafting KRONYXIUM cores. As I have mentioned in that same video, this will be a 3-part guide for onyx core, KRONYXIUM core, and Ilarican core. This is to avoid a very lengthy and confusing walkthrough in a single video. If you haven't watched the first part of the video guide yet, and you need a thorough walkthrough on how to craft onyx cores, you can check the link in the description below, or you can click on the pop-up notification in this video. KRONYXIUM steel bar is a common requirement if you are crafting medium or heavy armor, weapons, and tools in the Age of Calamitous. In order for you to craft KRONYXIUM steel bars, you will need KRONYXIUM cores. This video will only focus on how to craft KRONYXIUM cores, and watch out for the Ilarican core crafting guide on our next video upload. So, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on all notifications so you won't miss our future uploads. Now, let's get into the KRONYXIUM core crafting guide. For you guys to have a better understanding on the required crafting stations in this process, I left a link in the description below for the Age of Calamitous support guide where you can check all the crafting stations, the required level to unlock them, the feats it's under, the things that you can craft in them, and more. So, check it out. So, the first thing that you need to know is that the KRONYXIUM core can be crafted in the Frost Smithy in the Temple of Frost. So, you need to be strong enough to face the ice giants in the Temple of Frost and properly insulated from the cold to avoid frostbite. Just an additional tip, spicy food can also give you a warm buff if your gear doesn't have a high cold insulation. And avoid drinking water. Drinking water will lower your temperature, so to quench your thirst, you can drink alcohol or any of the berry juices. You can also craft KRONYXIUM cores in the Crescent Shrine. This can be handcrafted if you are in the sub-faction of the Silver Coven under the Elven Covenant. But in order to craft this, you need 5 Skyan metal bar, 120 chromium reinforcements, 5 onyx cores, and 2 KRONYXIUM cores. So there should be a point in the game that you really have to go to the Frost Smithy to craft the KRONYXIUM core. Before you go to the Frost Smithy in the Temple of Frost and craft your KRONYXIUM core, you need to bring these materials. 1 onyx core, 30 mystical dusts, 5 sapphires, and 1 runic enchantment. The onyx core can be crafted or purchased, so please check the onyx core crafting guide for that. For the other materials, we will start from the basic materials and where to find them. After that, we will build it up from the basic materials to the craftable materials needed, and then finally the KRONYXIUM core. But if you already know where to get the basic materials in the Age of Calamitous, you can just skip this part and proceed to the actual crafting guide through the timestamps in the description below. First, let's start with the herbs. Mystical plants. You can get mystical plants by harvesting glowing goop. You can find this in multiple locations, but it has the thickest bunch of it in the snow area in E11. It's also abundant in the jungle area. I will leave the link of the interactive map for Conan Exiles in the description below for you to use. Next, Aurora Herb. The primary resource of Aurora Herb is the Yellow Lotus, and you can find it in multiple locations as well in the exiled map, but the thickest bunch of it you can find in the jungle area in L7 and H8 in the Highlands. You can also get a good amount of Aurora herbs from Purple Lotus and Aloe Vera or Aloes. Next is the Black Lotus. There's only one location for Black Lotuses, and that is in N6 near the Palace of the Witch Queen. bring a sandstorm mask, and your best sickle. Next is the Golden Lotus. The Golden Lotus can only be found in the volcano area. But if you belong to the faction of the Elven Covenant, you can find Golden Lotuses inside your faction hall. Next, the Dragon Fern. The only source for Dragon Fern is the Grave Flower Lupin, and you can find it in multiple locations in the Exiled map. You just need to know how to distinguish it from the other bushes. Now, if you want to see an extensive guide on all the plants and herbs for the Age of Calamitous, I will leave that link in the description below, or you can just click on the pop-up notification in this video. Now, let's go to the needed minerals to craft KRONYXIUM Core. First, Uncut Sapphire. The primary source of Uncut Sapphire, or the Uncut Gems, are crystals. There are 5 locations where you can find crystals in the Exiled map. You have the Hanuman's Grotto, Cavern of Fiends, Warren of Degenerates, Scuttler Shortcut, and The Passage. I highly not recommend the last one. Next is crystals. In the process of getting uncut gems, you will be able to get a lot of crystals. You can get crystals as well when mining obsidian. Next, brimstones. Brimstones can be found in caves like the Sinner's Refuge, Galaman's Tomb, and Executioner's Entrance. But you can get a lot of brimstones in the Shattered Springs. Just bring a strong thrall with you and a sandstorm mask, and you should be okay. Next is cobalt. Cobalt can be mined from cobalt ores in the Unnamed City and in the Underwater Cavern. You can also mine it from star metal meteors, and obsidian. Next, goldstones. Goldstones can be mined from the aviary ores in the Unnamed City and in the Underwater Cavern, and you can also get a decent amount of it from obsidian deposits. You can also get a random loot drop from the Scourge or Plague mobs. Now, let's go to the materials that you can get from the mobs. First, blood. The best way to get blood is to collect human flesh, carcasses, and vanilla mob heads. Put them in the fluid press and you should be able to get a lot of blood. Next, demon blood. You can get demon blood from vanilla corrupted mobs, bosses, and more. I will leave the link in the description below for the complete list of vanilla mobs where you can get demon blood. You can also get demon blood from some of the faction thralls, some scourge mobs, and some bosses in the Age of Calamitous. For the complete list, check the link in the description below. Next, dragon horn. You can get dragon horns from the undead dragon in the sinkhole, all the dragons in the Unnamed City, including the Scourge Dragon boss. But for some reason, sometimes the Red Mother and the Green Dragon do not drop dragon horn. I do get high chances of getting dragon horns from the Red Mother if I'm using the skinning knife and not the pick, but it's a totally different story with the Green Dragon. The dragon hatchlings, however, are giving dragon horns 100% every time. You can also find dragons in the snow area in G11 and H11. And in my experience, I get higher yield if I use a skinning knife than the pick. And the last one is tar. Tar is produced in the tannery when crafting leather from hides. Now that we have all the basic materials, we can start crafting. Let's start with the mystical dust. The mystical dust can be crafted in the alchemy desk. All you need is the mystical plant and aurora herb. Sapphire can be crafted in the gem crafting bench. Just place the uncut sapphires and convert them. So we already have the onyx core, the mystical dusts, and sapphire. All we need to craft is the runic enchantment. The runic enchantment requires 1 tonic of enhanced preservation, 5 dragon powders, 15 fragment of demise, 50 cobalt. This is without the alchemist trowel. With the alchemist trowel, it will only require 1 tonic of enhanced preservation, 3 dragon powders, 11 fragment of demise, and 37 cobalt. So let's start with the tonic of enhanced preservation. So we need 1 dragon horn, 30 ichors, and 2 goldstones. With the alchemist trowel, we can save because it only requires 1 dragon horn, 22 ichor, and 1 goldstone. Now, dragon powder is a vanilla material, so you need 1 demon blood, 5 brimstones, 25 crystals, and 50 steel fires. And lastly, the fragment of demise. You will need 2 black lotus powder, 3 golden lotuses, 20 dragon fern dusts, 30 blood. With the alchemist trowel, it will only require 1 black lotus powder, 2 golden lotuses, 15 dragon fern dusts, and 22 blood. You can also get Fragment of Demise by doing the contract mission Tier 2 Common in the dispatch board. It will cost you 4 copper coins and 25 tin coins. Now that we have all the materials, off we go to the Temple of Frost, fight our way through the Frost Giants, or run like a lunatic to get to the Frost Smithy. Bring a thrall or a pet with you if you're going to play solo, since you need to fight a horde of Frost Giants in the Frost Smithy area, and one of them is a mini-boss. So proceed with caution. Once clear, put all the materials in and craft the KRONYXIUM core. It takes a lot of work for just one KRONYXIUM core, and it's not even the final product yet in order for you to create the AOC armors, weapons, and tools. You have to bring this back to the Master Furnace and you can craft the KRONYXIUM steel bar. Once you have the steel bar, that's the one that you can use to craft the AOC armors, weapons, and tools that you want. So, watch out for our third and final video in this 3-part tutorial on how to craft the Ilarican core. The Ilarican core is a different requirement for a metal called Zarium metal bar. So, that is it for now, you guys, and I do hope you find this guide really helpful. If you do, please leave a like and smash that subscribe button for fresh tips and tricks for Conan Exiles, Age of Calamitous. You can also leave us a comment below for requests of guides and walkthroughs that you want us to cover, or any recommendations on how we can make our content better in our future videos. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Bye for now, you guys.